So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and today I'm going to be talking about the up and coming fight between Jaron Ennis versus David Avanesyan. Now this fight is set to take place on the 13th of July and it's going to be in Jaron Ennis's backyard in Philadelphia. So this will see Jaron Ennis defend his IBF title for the first time, and it's against a fairly decent opponent, I should say. David Avanesyan hasn't been active in the last couple of years, but prior to that, he has been a good opponent, and I thought at once upon a time a very good prospect in the welterweight division. That was up until he fought Terence Crawford, who is the main man in the welterweight division, especially at the time, where he lost. He got stopped in 6 rounds versus Terence Crawford, and it was a fight where when that got called, I was like, this isn't the right fight for David Avanesyan. It was pretty much his promoting team maybe cashed in all the chips sort of thing, and that's similar to what I feel as if they've done now in terms of the Jaron Ennis fight, because Jaron Ennis is considered to be the next big thing in the welterweight division. People are topping him to pretty much take over from Terence Crawford when Crawford's done, or maybe he's moved up into the next one, next division, 154, or maybe even 160 or 168, depending on whatever he's doing in terms of his career. So yeah, Jaron Ennis is a big prospect, and currently he is the IBF champion. Terence Crawford did vacate the belt, or he got stripped, or whatever it was. Ennis was obviously, he had some sort of IBF secondary title, which makes him the main man, obviously, if the belt got stripped, and that's what happened. But yeah, in terms of both of these guys' career to date, in terms of David Avanesyan, he's had 36 bouts to his name, 30 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw along that way. 18 of his 30 wins have come by KO, and 2 of his 4 losses have come by KO as well. So yeah, he's got a good record, but he is on the longer side in terms of age. He's 35 years of age at this present moment in time. So he's not a young pup anymore, and he hasn't fought properly, you know what I mean, since 2022, where in 2022 he had 2 fights. He had one at the start of the year, one at the end of the year where he fought Crawford. In 2023 he only had 1 fight, which was the back end of 2023, it was in December, where he won, and whereas his opponent retired on his stool. So yeah, he hasn't been active in the last couple of years in as much as what I probably would have liked. So in terms of my prediction, I've got to go with a man who's in form, and obviously he is a big talent, and that's Jaron Ennis. Currently 31-0 with 28 KOs to his name, and he is on the younger side. He's a lot younger compared to David Avanesyan. He's 27 years, so there's 8 years between him and David Avanesyan. And as I said, he is considered the next man to kind of step up and take the welterweight division by storm. And he's been active. He had 1 fight in 2022 and 2 fights in 2023. This will be his first fight in 2024, and it's a good fight to come back to. And if he could come through this fight fairly unscathed, maybe we could possibly see him again in the ring, maybe towards the end of the year, maybe December time, which would possibly be good for him. 2 fights a year is what he should be aiming for minimum. And depending on how the welterweight division is stacked up at that present moment in time, can he maybe entice one of the other champions into the ring? There's only 2 other champions in the division. One of them is Mario Barrios, and the other one is Terence Crawford. Now, no one really knows what Terence Crawford is doing with in terms of his career and his titles. So, if he's not, going to defend any of his titles, he's pretty much going to vacate the belts. So the belts could potentially be fragmented. If he does choose to move up, because he's got the WBA and the WBO and the Ring magazine as well. But in terms of Barrios is the WBC champion. So as I said, if Ennis could come through this fairly unscathed, I can't see Terence Crawford wanting that fight against Ennis, so a Barrios could potentially be a much easier fight for them to be made. But let's see what happens. This fight is set for 30th of July. As I said, I'm going with the man who's in form, man who's been fighting regular, and the man who's up and coming, and that's Jaron Ennis. I reckon he probably will stop David Avanesyan towards the back end of the fight, even though Avanesyan is fairly durable. He just hasn't fought in the last few years, so he's not active, he's not going to be sharp. Can't see a way past it. But anyway, that's my thoughts. You guys can let me know your thoughts. Are you with me? Do you believe that Jaron Ennis is going to win? Do you think he's going to win quite comfortable? Or do you reckon David Avanesyan potentially could throw up a few banana skins in this fight and maybe hurt Jaron Ennis, or maybe even try and stop him? Because I feel as if that's the only way he could win this fight, is by some sort of stoppage. Definitely not going to win on points, but that's my predictions. You guys can let me know yours, and as always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.